this channel. Finally, the time has come when we are going to have our discussion on understanding the yearly planetary movements in the year 2021. After whatsoever we have faced in this particular year, where we are moving ahead with this hope that 2021 is not only going to put an end to all of our miseries, but also make us open towards all the opportunities. So what I'm going to do in this video is that I've already uploaded a video where I have explained you the planetary influence in the form of numerological numbers. How could we decode the energies of 2021 as per our personal year? If you want to get a clarity, you can also watch that video as well. I'm going to mention the link of that previous video in the description box of this video. And in this video now we are going to focus only on the astrological planetary involvements and contribution to the year 2021. So guys, I'm going to divide this video in two parts. First part, which is going to remain common for all the 12 ascendant natives, where I'm going to explain you the major transit movements which is going to happen in the year 2021. And in the second part, we will try to understand what 2021 is going to bring specifically for you. Whatsoever planetary transit movements we are going to discuss in the first part of this video, how is it going to affect you as per your ascendant in a very customized way. So okay guys, let's just start our discussion on understanding the major planetary movements in the year 2021. It's very simple. Whenever we have to look at any particular year's theme, we always give emphasis and more emphasis to the slow moving planets, because they have the capacity to bring a major change in our life, to lay foundation to something very substantial which we want to achieve. So from this particular perspective, we generally give emphasis to the transit of the planet Saturn, because Saturn stays in one zodiac sign for around 2.5 years. Second priority always goes to the nodes Rahu and Ketu, because they also stay in one sign for nearly 1.5 years of time. Then the third priority goes to the planet Jupiter, because Jupiter's stay also stays in one sign for near about 10 months to 1 year of time. So first we are going to discuss how Saturn's going to behave in the year 2021. Now just because I have already explained it to you that Saturn generally stays in one sign for nearby around 2.5 years of time, but behind each zodiac sign in our Vedic astrology, which is very comprehensive, which is very layered and detailed, behind each zodiac sign there is the energy of 3 asterisms, 3 nakshatras, which provides their energy, their contributing qualities to the functioning of that zodiac sign. So guys, in the year 2021, Saturn is majorly going to spend most of his time even behind the Capricorn in the Shravan Nakshatra. Now you need to understand first what are the underlying qualities of this asterism, this nakshatra, which is going to influence the behavior of the Saturn, which in a way is going to affect all of us. So I mean to say, whenever we have to talk about the Shravan Nakshatra. So see, Shravan is a nakshatra which is being ruled by the planet Moon. Shravan is a nakshatra which lies in the core of the Capricorn zodiac sign. Now Capricorn has a region from 10 degrees to 23 degree 20 minutes. Whenever we have to talk about Capricorn, the first thing which comes to our mind is about organizational skills, about very career driven approach. So I mean to say, all of these qualities which you must have heard or which you must associate with Capricorn zodiac sign underlies and get kind of compact in the functioning of this Shravan Nakshatra. So the way it has been described in our Vedic scriptures is that just because the ruling deity of this star Shravan is Lord Vishnu, which in itself is a preservator, and the goddess Saraswati, which represents all form of knowledge, all form of wisdom, all form of learning. So the thing is, in the functioning of this Shravan Nakshatra works in a way where a lot of emphasis is being given to your discipline and moreover and your capability to access all the form of wisdom and knowledge around you. So a lot of emphasis is being attached to the listening. So now what is going to happen is that in the year 2021, when Saturn will be transiting this Shravan Nakshatra, it is good in a way that, for example, rather than being very acting like someone who is bit nonchalant, who is not very concerned, or who is kind of bit unconcerned about the wise advices of the other people, your behaviors, your endeavors have to be receptive enough in order to understand the goodness, the wisdom around you. You have to be, get into that meditative stance where you have to listen to your inner voice. I mean to say, guys, had there been a planet like Mars, if it will be transiting this asterism, which all about sharing of the knowledge, being accessible to the knowledge, then we could have said that for Mars, being proactive could reap you the results. But for a planet like Saturn, which in itself represents discipline, being passive qualities, the transit of Saturn in this Shravan Nakshatra could be looked at from the perspective that this year, something concrete is definitely going to happen in your life. Some good opportunities you're definitely going to invite in your life, even from the meditative and the spiritual elevation. This year is definitely going to be very, very eye-opener for you. But the only thing is that you have to remain open towards listening to the wise counsel around you. So this is something, guys, which you can associate as the behavior and functioning of Saturn in the year 2021. Now the most important part is that, see, the first charan or the pada of Shravan is being ruled by the Aries Navamsa, which is all about logic, career oriented drive approach. You can associate with it. The second pada of Shravan Nakshatra is about the Taurus Navamsa, where the emphasis is put forth more on the organizational skills, about fixity in your your approach towards the fulfillment of your goals. But the most important part is that, and where Saturn is going to spend a majority of its portion of time in the year 2021, that is going to be in this Shravan's third pada. So now third pada is being ruled by the Gemini Navamsa, where a lot of emphasis is being given on the communication, about the resourcefulness, about acquiring new skill. And this time period is going to be from the month of April to the month of July. In the month of June and July, Saturn is also going to go retrograde, but it is going to stay in the Shravan Nakshatra's third pada. So I mean to say, guys, this is going to be a time period where you can encash a lot from Saturn's transit in this Shravan Nakshatra. Not only that, guys, even while taking out the auspicious timings, it is being believed that any task undertaken or started in the time of predominance of Shravan Nakshatra goes towards the successful final completion. So a lot related to permanent victory, laying foundation for something concrete, substantial in your life, can be associated with the transit of Saturn in the Shravan Nakshatra in the year 2021. Let's move ahead, guys. The next slow moving planet which is going to impact our lives due to its transit in the year 2021, which is important to study, is the planet Rahu. Now the case with Rahu is that whithersoever Rahu transits, basis your ascendant, it is being seen and it is being observed that certain degree of luck can be experienced in that particular house. Sudden thrust of fascination, obsession towards the signification of the house has been observed in the lives of many people wheresoever Rahu is being transiting in their house from the ascendant. So I mean to say, guys, in the year 2021, Rahu is majorly going to transit even within the Taurus zodiac sign, where it is transiting currently in the Rohini Nakshatra. So a major like 3/4 of its time in the year 2021, it's going to be spent in the Rohini Nakshatra. Now you need to understand the qualities which gets represented by Rohini. Rohini is a nakshatra which is being ruled by the planet Moon. Rohini represents all kind of civilization, production, allure, charm, good interpersonal skills. So I mean to say, Rahu, which in itself represents materialistic desires. Rahu has got that insatiable appetite. And at the time when I made a video on understanding the result of Rahu's transit in this Taurus zodiac sign, I already explained it to you people that this transit is actually going to invoke and encourage Rahu to attain the financial and materialistic desires which it always craves for. So I mean to say, in this Rohini Nakshatra, Rahu's energy is going to manifest in the form in the year 2021, where native is definitely going to make himself or herself financially stable, financially secure, and lot of efforts will be put forth in the form of attaining luxury or in the form of attaining comforts in the life. This is something which you can see as a form of probable results for Rahu's transit in the Rohini Nakshatra, which is going to remain from the month of February till the month of October. You can attach it with that. And when we talk about the Kritika Nakshatra, where Rahu is going to stay only for the 2 months in the November and December, there could be a little bit of the turmoil and the clash of energies, because Kritika is a nakshatra which is being ruled by Rahu's enemy Sun. And the second thing is that Rahu's way of functioning has got little bit of the wheel of illusion in it. There is little bit of the manipulation, there is little bit of the diplomacy in it. But when we talk about the functioning of Kritika, there is a very on your face approach, because of which there Rahu's functioning, Rahu's plans could get into bone of contention. But apart from that, for the major and the majority of the year of 2021, Rahu's transit in the Rohini Nakshatra could be seen as a very good sign for all the people who are connected with the fields of import and export, anything related to travel business, anything related to financial markets, anything related to art and mass media business. All these people can straight away get benefited because of the Rahu's transit in the year 2021 in the Rohini Nakshatra. Let's move ahead, guys. If you need to understand the transit of Ketu in the year of 2021. So as you people know that Ketu will be transiting in the sign of Scorpio throughout the year 2021. Now it is very important, because whichsoever house Ketu transit from your ascendant, it has the capacity to bring lifetime changes in the signification of that house. Any form of churning out, all form of transformation, being and becoming perfectionist in the signification of the house where Ketu is transiting from your ascendant, all of that remains possible whichever time Ketu is transiting in that particular house in your chart. Now the second thing is that behind the Scorpio zodiac sign, Ketu will be transiting in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha and in the nakshatra of Anuradha. Now you need to understand that Jyeshtha is a nakshatra which is being ruled by the planet Mercury, where a lot of emphasis is being given to attaining power, attaining some leadership role, proving your supremacy in the society. So I mean to say, let's say for example, if in the year of 2021 you are running the fortunate time periods, Dasha period, which signify some kind of attainment of power. So the transit of Ketu could promise you that. And along with that, when Ketu will be transiting the Anuradha Nakshatra from the month of July till the month of December. So Anuradha represents all kind of friendly endeavors, becoming a part of the group and attainment of your goals in a very amiable way. And you cannot even ignore the fact that Anuradha is a nakshatra which is being ruled by the planet Saturn, which is definitely going to be very empowered in this particular year's transit. And last, guys, if you need to understand the transit of Jupiter throughout the year of 2021, so I've already uploaded a video where I've explained that Jupiter will be transiting in the signs of Capricorn and Aquarius throughout the year of 2021. So till the month of April, it will be transiting in the zodiac sign of Capricorn. Then from April till the month of September, it will be transiting in the sign of Aquarius. From September to November, it will transit back to the Capricorn, and finally in the month of November, it is going to move ahead in the sign of Aquarius. Now the good part about this transit is going to remain that Jupiter's optimism might get suppressed, might get completely surrendered to the power and the disciplined streak of Saturn at the time when it is going to be transiting in the sign of Capricorn, being conjunct with already placed strong Saturn over there. But once it is going to move to the sign of Aquarius, that could be seen as a very fortunate time in working hard towards fulfillment of your goals, of your desires, along with becoming a part of the larger groups. You can look at it from that particular perspective as well. So this is something, guys, which I wanted to tell you and share a sneak peek of the planetary general movement in the year of 2021. Now we will try to understand by making a blend of all of these planets that what kind of results they are going to bring in our lives in the year of 2021. Okay friends, so now we will start understanding how this year's planetary alignments, transits are going to specifically impact you. Now we have to take up the cases of slow moving planets first. So if you have to look at the transit of Saturn, so this whole year Saturn will be transiting your 8th house. Now you need to understand that this whole year, or the major portion of this year 2021, Saturn will be transiting in your 8th house in the Nakshatra of Shravan. As you know, Shravan is all about permanent victory, where a lot of emphasis is being given to listening to remain accessible to the wise counsel around you. Now you have to understand, when we talk about the 8th house, see, 8th house is obviously, it's the house of age, longevity, transformation, new starts, all kind of crisis, all kind of psychological turmoils. But at the same time, 8th house is also the house of your strong intuition. 8th house is also the house of dedication, loyalty, sexuality, and along with that, it is also the house of sadhana. So I mean to say, guys, if you have to even understand what is the difference between doing prayers and doing meditation. When you do the prayers, you talk to the gods, you talk to the divinity. But when you do the meditation, you listen to the god, you listen to the divinity. So I mean to say, this year what is going to happen is that majority of the slow moving planets will be transiting your Dushtana Bhav, your Trik houses, or we could say the area of life which are bit forbidden or which are bit hidden, because Rahu will be transiting your 12th house, Ketu will be transiting your 6th house, and Saturn is transiting in the 8th house, and in majority of the portion Jupiter will be conjunct with Saturn in the 8th house, and it will be hovering from your 8th house to the 9th house. So I mean to say, guys, one thing which you need to understand is that this year is definitely going to be the time where initially you might get these kind of inhibitions, these kind of phobias and fears that your identity might be getting stolen from you. But at the same time, this could also pave path to all kind of opportunities where you will have the potential to look at your demons, to look at all of your shortcomings in the face. And like the way I already explained, if you will be doing meditation, if this year you will be seeking refuge to any kind of spiritual austerities, religious austerities, so your gut feel will be the right piece of teacher to guide you in any of the life's turmoils, in any of the life's confusing situation. Because even in your case, Saturn not only rules the 8th house, Saturn also rules the 9th house, and I've already explained. 9th house is the house where God is. It is the house of the gods, where God live, the house of moksha, moksthan. So from 9th house you need to go 4 house further, and then you will reach the 12th house. But divinity resides in your 9th house, and Saturn has the rulership of both of your 8th house and the 9th house. Because the problem is that many times what has been seen, that if Saturn energies are not working in a higher dimension, so what happens that people are not able to take any kind of hurtful situation in a very dignified way. The reaction generally comes out in the form of getting abusive, taking too much resort in sexuality, or assaulting others. This could be the worst scenario. So I mean to say, guys, this is the year where you are going to get the possibilities, the opportunities to work behind the scenes, and at the same time develop yourself. Look at all of your shortcomings and develop them. And at the same time, all those people who are directly connected with the 8th house related concerns, you are a psychic, you are dealing in other people's money, other people's finances, IT, revenue, even the adult industry. So if any ways you are connected with the professions related and connected with the 8th house, where you could also involve insurance business as well. So I mean to say this year could be very very promising for you people. Now moving ahead, and before that I need to advise you one more thing, that try not to get too much into any kind of overindulgence in sexuality, or let's say for example even in any form of intoxicants, any form of addictions needed to be curbed this year because of the planetary alignments which are happening in your chart. So this is something which we looked at specifically from the Saturn's transit in your 8th house throughout this year, where majority of the portion it is going to be transiting in the Shravan Nakshatra. But with that said guys, the Saturn's transit in the third pada of the Shravan will going to be a very promising time for some new learning, taking your religious and spiritual austerities to altogether new level, altogether a very higher dimension. Like the third Charan transit is going to be from the month of April till the month of July. So you can look at it from that particular perspective as well. Guys, you need to understand one more thing. I can explain it to you the same principle from so many angles. Like for example, in your case, your ascendant lord Mercury gets debilitated. Out of all the ascendants, it's your ascendant lord only which gets debilitated in the house where you need to perform your duties, in the 10th house. So I mean to say a lot could be achieved this year. All what is needed out of you is that dedication, devotion, and at the same time working behind the scenes. Now moving ahead guys, if you have to understand the transit of Rahu and Ketu. So Rahu will be transiting your 12th house, and in the 12th house Rahu will be transiting majorly in the Nakshatra of Rohini of this year of 2021. Now you need to understand that, see, Rahu, if dignified in the 12th house, can give success in the matters of 12th house. I mean to say anything related to foreign country, dealing with foreigners, foreign business, travel business. Let's say for example, even if you have to understand from the perspective of if you deal and your occupation, your livelihood is connected with anything related to fantasy, anything related to writing, spirituality, you are a yoga practitioner, you are a meditation teacher. So this year could bring lot of good success for you. You can look at it from that angle as well. Along with that, the transit of Ketu in your 6th house, because whichever house Ketu transits, it brings out the churning on the matters of that particular house. Now 6th house is also a house of your discipline, structure, how to deal with enemies, how to deal with diseases. So Ketu's transit in your 6th house in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha and Anuradha can be looked at from this angle, that this year you might suddenly get some new routine, new diet plan. You might start giving very microscopic view and attention to your health and health related concerns. Now the only red flag in this particular alignment is that try not to get into any kind of power struggle while dealing with your subordinates. Like if you will try to be overly bossy with a very perfectionist approach, if you will be dealing your subordinates, then they might rebel, challenging your authority. So try to remain bit calm and bit diplomatic while dealing your subordinates. Along with that, if we have to look at the transit of Jupiter, which is going to be moving and hovering from your 8th house to 9th house. Now you need to understand that Jupiter rules two important houses in your life. Not only it rules the house of your life partner, house of your fame, how you deal with world and public at large, but it also rules your 10th house of career, of your karma. So Jupiter being debilitated, being starved by Saturn, and everything is happening in the 8th house as well. So the only thing which I want to advise you is that doing any kind of religious austerities, doing yoga, meditation, listening to your inner gut feel, and along with that giving emotional relief to all those people who are going through any kind of crisis situation, listening to their, hearing to their pleas. Sometimes guys, if many times you must have kind of experienced this situation, that if someone is going through some problem, even if you do not have a solution to that person's problem, but just giving a very empathetic ear to his problem, listening to his problem, just saying okay, everything will be fine, everything will turn out to be in your favor. Even these kind of words sometimes gives lot of relief to the person in crisis. So this kind of approach, this kind of attitude, worship of Lord Vishnu in this year can definitely bring good results for you people. And try not to get into be a part of this rat race of achieving things. This year is definitely going to erupt all those kind of circumstances and situations where you might have to face little bit of the phases of stages of being all alone, being by yourself. Your limelight, you might get this feeling that is getting stolen by other people. You're not getting due attention, but you have to understand that this is just a phase. The transit of planets in these Dushtana Bhav Trik houses just prepare your inner gut feel, prepare you to work behind the screen and come out strong as a warrior. You can look at it from that angle as well. And if I were to say the transit of your ascendant lord like Mercury, the Mercury's transit is going to happen in your important houses Feb, March, May, June, and even in the month of September and October could be seen as a very fortunate time for you, where ascendant lord, your life force, is definitely going to give complete thrust to achieve all of your dreams and your set targets and goals. So this is something guys which I wanted to tell you as a general overview of the planetary transit movements in your the year of 2021. Okay guys, now we will start taking up each category one by one, and we will try to understand what exactly is happening if we will narrow down that area of your life. So first we will start with the concerns of your career in the year of 2021. Now for the scrutinization of career, we give attention to your 10th house, we give attention to your 6th house, which tells about your daily work life. We also give attention to your 3rd house, which represents your efforts, your skills, some kind of opportunities as well. So I mean to say this year what is going to happen is that your 10th house is primarily getting aspected by Ketu with its 5th aspect, and also it is getting aspected by Saturn from its 3rd aspect. So you have to remain very positive this year that there could be all those circumstances and situation which might erupt at work, like for example a project which is generally being done by executed by a team of 2-3 people. So your bosses might ask you to do that all by yourself, but even in those kind of circumstances and situation, you have to remain very optimistic that you could prove your mettle in these kind of challenging situation. If you will keep your mindset like that, you can definitely get some good results this year. Now the second thing is that, see, Jupiter is only going to benefit you when it will be transiting in your 9th house, and it will be straight away looking at your ascendant, your 5th house and your 3rd house with its aspects, which is going to be time period from the month of April till the month of September. So those months could remain to be giving you some opportunities, giving you the results of your hard work. But one thing which is sure in this year is that specifically for, in order to get the confidence of your bosses, you have to prove yourself at the same time. Now if you have to look at it, the contributing elements of Rahu and Ketu in this axis, so I already advised you that try not to be very hard on all those people who report to you. Second thing is that any handling of the matter of finances, specifically where you are handling the finances, money of your company, of your bosses, other people's money, you have to remain very cautious. You have to remain very careful while dealing all those concerns, all those matters. This year there could be some of the foreign travels, long distance travel related to work, and in your case, for example, if you are awaiting some foreign opportunity, foreign related travel, any of the immigration related concerns, so you can definitely benefit this year out of those areas of your professional work life. Now guys, we will try to understand that what energies I received from tarot to look at this area of your life. So I received a couple of cards. The first card which came was of the 6 of Cups, but this card came out to be reversed. So I mean to say this card can be read in your given situation with a way that there could be all those kind of circumstances and scenarios that what opportunity you were expecting or you deserve right in front of you might slip out to your contenders. So you need to remain very optimistic even in those kind of situation, that planetary alignments are giving you a platform to work hard, become perfectionist and prove yourself. So you have to remain very much cautious of not losing out if these kind of situations erupt. Now the second card, guys, which I received, which came out to be the Seven of Pentacles. So which just tells about for all those people who are in the fields of revenue, insurance, any form of research, even your financial plans and goals, the remuneration which you are getting. So this year those kind of circumstances might erupt where you will ponder over your package, remuneration. So the money which you are making, is it worth and at par with your skills, the efforts which you are putting? So I'm not seeing any kind of affliction over here. In any case, Saturn will be transiting in your 8th house and it is strengthened over there. So I mean to say, whenever Saturn is strengthened in the 8th house, it generally gives very deep power of contemplation in any area of life. Saturn, which in itself represents career for all of us. So I mean to say, this kind of situation might arise where the energies are definitely going to lead you to the right direction. The third card, guys, which came, that was of Seven of Swords. So I already told you there could be little bit of the travels here related to work. You have to remain very much open towards that, which will turn out to be in your favor, which will turn out to be good. The next card, guys, which came, that was the Five of Swords. So I already told you, try not to get into any kind of ego related hassles, power related struggles to the people who report to you. So there could be all those kind of situations where your thoughts, your plans might not align with your bosses, with your team. So you need to remain calm, patient and very diplomatically handle those kind of situations. And the last card, guys, which came as a major arcana card, was of the Devil card. So I do not have to say much about this card. So the Devil card, first thing is that too much bondage with the physicality, materialism. Along with that, there will always be this fear of taking some sudden reckless decision. So try to refrain yourself in those kind of adrenaline rush, in those kind of rush situations. So I mean to say, whatsoever circumstances are demanding out of you, try to take the some expert's opinion, third person's opinion, deeply contemplate on the pros and cons of the situation, then make your moves. That is something which I want to tell you as a part of your career's planetary energies for the Gemini Ascendant people for this year of 2021. Let's move to the next category of understanding what is happening in the matter of your finances this year. So for any concerns of finances, we always give attention to your second house. We give attention to your 11th house for any kind of supplementary income, any kind of financial opportunities. Now, guys, what is happening over here is that your second house is straight away getting aspected by Saturn and Jupiter from the 8th house. So the only thing which I am looking at here for as a theme of your this year for the matters of your finances is that one thing is that this year is a time to save more money. This is not the time to go all flashy, to invest a lot of money. Rather than making more and more investments, I would rather recommend you try to save money and make your moves in any of the financial matters with lot of contemplation. Let's say, for example, if in your case the concerns of joint resources qualifies, you can gain out of that. If you are straight away working in finance industry, you are working in any of the revenue industry, insurance businesses, so you can benefit straight away. You can benefit. This year might also give you some fresh starts in the matters of your financial source of channel, financial source of income. I'm not seeing any kind of vulnerability or affliction over there, but at the same time, Saturn being strengthened and completely controlling Jupiter in the 8th house and aspecting both of these planets, aspecting your second house, is giving more indication that this year is going to be the time when you have to save money. Channel of income might erupt, but they will not be in your control. All those opportunities will be unpredictable, so you have to remain very much watchful of that. But apart from that, I'm not seeing any vulnerability in the way of some wasteful expenses or any kind of losses. I'm not seeing any vulnerability over there, but at the same time you have to remain little bit frugal in the matters of your financial handling. That is one thing which I want to advise you. And the tarot theme which I received for your this area of life came out to be of the moon card. So the moon card again is just giving us this energy that try to remain very cautious while dealing with other people, specifically other people's money. All those areas where you are responsible for handling other people's money, you have to remain very watchful. Try not to psychologically trouble yourself with the way your finances or the growth of your finances is happening. I mean to say, whenever the moon card comes, it generally gives and indicates some kind of psychological unforeseen phobias, fears. So I mean to say, try not to be in that mode where you are very much fearful of, whether I'm going to lose my money, how I'm going to, make money to do my responsibilities, fulfill my responsibilities. So in a way, try to save yourself from any form of unrealistic fears and phobias on the account of your financial state. You can look at it and read it from that angle as well. Now moving ahead guys to the next category, which is about your relationships. Okay guys, let's move to the next category. For all the Gemini Ascendant people, the one thing which their Ascendant Lord love to do is to talk, chat, interact. So I mean to say, if you have to look at the energies erupting at your relationship front, so we obviously have to scrutinize the air element houses, like third house, which tells about your interaction within your neighborhood, with your friends, with your siblings. Seventh house, which tells about your dealing with your life partner, with world, public at large. 11th house, which also tells about all form of large group socialization, and 5th house, which is also the house of love and romance. So what I'm looking at this year is that, see, you have to understand that this year all of your hidden houses are more empowered. So I mean to say, I'm not seeing very happy go lucky energy for going out, socializing with people and creating some opportunities. This is the time where if you will try to be in the robes of a yogi, of trying to do and awake your inner light, so the opportunities and right set of people might by themselves come in your life. So you need to remain bit and keep a very low profile this year. That's one word of advice I want to give you. Now the second thing is that what kind of cards I received for your relationship front. So the cards which came out was, the first card which came was of 8 of Wands, which just tells about in your relationship front there could be all those kind of circumstances and situations where you will run into people, where you will mistake those kind of interaction as some deep bond, but with the pace people are going to enter, with the same pace they might move out as well. So you need to remain bit open-minded in those kind of scenarios, that you should not attach your emotions and feelings in casual interactions. Now the second thing is that the second card which came was of 2 of Swords, which is reversed. So I mean to say, because of your empowered 8th house, excess of Rahu and Ketu in the 12th and the 6th house, this year could actually play a very major role in actually revealing which all are your true well-wisher, true contacts. In order to maintain them, cherish them more, you can see and read this card from this angle. And the last major arcana card which came, that was of the Lovers card, which is reversed. So I mean to say, try to remain bit watchful while committing to people in friendship, in any kind of relationship. This is something which we can learn from over here, and I've already explained it to you from the planetary alignments and energies perspective as well. This is a broader view which we are trying to understand as a theme of your this year 2021 in the specific areas of life. And now guys, the last card and the last category is for the students, all those people who are going to appear for any of the academic exams. So I mean to say, for students, this year can be seen as a very promising time. I'm not looking at lot many distractions in your case. The only thing which could distract you is that if in any ways you have some weak vices in your lifestyle. I mean to say, if you have this craving for too much smoking, too much drinking, too much attraction towards the opposite sex, so in those areas you need to tame yourself, you need to discipline yourself. But apart from that, for the students, this year could actually generate some good energies, some good favorable admission in your choice of colleges, and all these kind of things can materialize. You can see this year's energy for that, that angle. And the cards which I received for as a theme of your academics, oh my god, they're like 4 or 5 cards. The first card which came, that was of a 6 of Pentacles card, which came out to be reversed. So I mean to say, you have to work hard. None of the opportunity can fall right in your lap. I mean to say, if you think that some of your friend who has got good knowledge and you can very easily convince him to teach you, train you certain concepts, certain principles, arranging and materializing a group study, so you might have to work hard in getting all those things which could act as a important ingredient towards your academic success. You can see and read this card from that angle. The second card, guys, which came, that was of a 3 of Pentacles, which is again indicating the same energy, which is again reversed. In order to build something substantial, you have to work hard. No shortcuts could work this year. This is something which this card is indicating us. The third card, guys, which came, that was of a 8 of Swords. Now the good part of this card is that this card is reversed. So I mean to say, I'm not seeing too much of the mental blockage this year. Whatsoever you want to achieve, you will sail towards those of your set targets with mental clarity. You can see this card from that perspective as well. And the next card which came, that was of a 5 of Cups. So I mean to say, see, this card bases the area of life which we are trying to understand. This card is just giving us this indication. Try not to get very much emotionally intense and entangled towards your set goals and targets. So I mean to say, life works in different phases. Same is the way our academics and our all the pedagogy systems are designed. So I mean to say, let's say for example, if some initial class test, in some initial assessment, if you will not get the desired success, try not to get completely overwhelmed because of those small pillars of your ultimate success for this year. This is something which we can learn from this card. The next card, guys, which came was of Page of Swords, which is just giving us this indication that there has to be little bit maturity which needed to be inculcated while chasing your academic dreams, academic goals. Page, otherwise upright, could have been indicated as a harbinger of some message, some good news, but just because in a air element sword it is reversed, it is just giving us this indication that you need to work hard in order to create some opportunity, some success. And the last card, upright card, which came was again of a Hanged Man, connected to your the subject and the area of life we are trying to understand. This card is just giving us this indication that you have to remain very disciplined this year, and any form of meditation, any form of spiritual practices is definitely going to help you have that heightened psychic spiritual awareness along with strong concentration power in order to fulfill your academic goals this year. So this is, guys, something which I wanted to say as a part of the yearly transit theme for all the Gemini Ascendant people. The remedy, if I were to say, only 2 remedies I will advise, which I have already explained at the beginning of this video. That one thing is that remaining very much empathizing, very concerned for all those people who are going through some kind of emotional turmoils this year can help you. And the second thing is that any form of spiritual religious austerities is recommended to strengthen Jupiter, which is very weak in your 8th house, and being a ruler of your 7th house and 10th house. Remedies devoted to Lord Vishnu, devoted to all the Brihaspativar Thursday related religious austerities are strictly recommended to get the best results in this year of 2021. Guys, I'm going to conclude this yearly transit video, and I pray to Lord Shiva that Lord Shiva's grace shall shine upon you people, and all of your wishes should come true in this year of 2021. So once again, thanks a lot for watching this video, and for further more updates and notification on astrology, please subscribe my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Thank you.